I'm here with you before you start.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Here we are. Yes,
not only with me, with hundreds of people who are pouring in. It's so wonderful to see it. When
This place is gonna be full.
I remember the first convention they had about Ribonut, I think there were less than 50 people.
Wow.
And Baruch Hashem, from year to year, they're moving to a bigger and bigger hall. I think the only possibility next year will be Har HaBayit.
Be'ezrat Hashem.
And I think that really, today, what just a few years ago seemed peculiar, today is the obvious. And I think everybody who has his eyes open and can look at the reality knows that the time has come to recognize Judea and Samaria as part of the state of Israel. The return of the Jewish people to their homeland is already deep in the process. 50 years after Jerusalem is part of the state of Israel, the time has come that Judea and Samaria should be announced as part of the state of Israel. We should implement our sovereignty, and we should build and build and build and build. We had a few years now where there was a lot of, the building was really frozen in many ways. Right. Now the time has come to start doing what has to be done.
Amen.
We're blessing our Prime Minister now, meeting with President Trump just in a few days from now, and we hope that he will tell him that the right things. We hope that he will tell him that the interest of Israel right now is to build and to stop living in this yes and no. To say Judea and Samaria, Yerushalayim is the capital of the state of Israel, Yehuda and Sharon are part of the state of Israel, and we should implement the Israeli law there as soon as possible.
The only one thing I have to add is that there is no other need for a Ribonut conference, and we'll all go up to Har HaBayit.
That's for sure.
Amen. Thank you, Yehuda. So, Yehuda, shalom, take it shalom, say hello. Yes. So here we are at the Ribonut conference. Anyone who's not familiar, Ribonut is sovereignty. The time has come for there to be sovereignty in Judea and Samaria. Let's argue about only Area C, all of it, what happens to the Arabs, do they get voting rights, is there autonomy for some of the Arabs? Let's talk about it, let's discuss that, let's argue about it. The solutions are there, but sovereignty over our ancestral homeland, the time has come. And as Chaver Knesset Yehuda Glick just mentioned, years ago, this used to be a small little conference, and now it's packed. Look, check out all the people here, we're going to be coming in soon. Here we go, filled. All these people here, only in a few minutes. Now they're eating, and in a few minutes they're going to be going in, and we're going to be listening to Nadia Matar. 1 second. Nadia!
Yes.
The woman, one of the many people, and the spearhead of Women in Green.
I have a tag for you, Abelow.
You do?
Yeah,
wow, I get a tag.
You are the special person.
No. I'm just.
Hi. Good to see you.
So, Nadia, what do you have to say to everybody?
I have to say, Am Yisrael Chai. I have to say that we live in historic times. I have to say that we have a poll that says that the majority of the Jewish people want sovereignty. Only 7% still believe in the Palestinian state. And let me tell you a secret, Avi. When we planned this conference, months ago, we didn't know it would be 3 days before Prime Minister Netanyahu would go to President Donald Trump. You would tell me that then, I would say you're joking. God, Hashem arranged things around, and here we are, 3 days before his trip. So in addition to all the messages that we were planning on saying, the additional message is, Bibi Netanyahu, our Prime Minister, the people of Israel are behind you, saying to you, like the signs in Hebrew say, Tzedcha l'shalom, go in peace and return with sovereignty. Go with the strength of Am Yisrael, who gives you so much strength to meet a president who finally, after 50 years of Americans who try to tell us what we should do, we have friends who are telling us, you tell us what you want and we'll respect it.
Right.
That's it. And that is the message. So don't go and ask for crumbs. Dream big. Eretz Israel is ours. Zionism today is sovereignty. For 50 years we haven't said that this is ours. For 50 years there's a question mark about what is Judea and Samaria. And 6 years ago, people were laughing at us when we started this campaign, and they were laughing at others who started before us. We're not taking the credit. Caroline Glick and Uri Elitzur and Martin Sherman, who started before us, we turned it together with them into a campaign, and with you and many others. And Baruch Hashem, look at the people here.
Right, unbelievable. Yeah, Yehuda Glick was saying just a number of years ago, I guess the first one, maybe 50 people showed up, hundreds of people. This whole big conference hall is going to be filled with people. thanks to your work and the others who you mentioned, and we're all bringing the Geula. It's up to all of us to bring the Geula.
Amen. Amen.
There we go. Amen. We're all bringing the Geula. So it is really wonderful that this is the topic, and as Caroline Glick said herself, I mean, like, the place is packed. Just how many people are here? Thank you for sharing the video, Lisa, and anyone else. And it's just so inspiring. Ribonut, sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. It's not a dream. It can happen. It's going to happen in our generation. Is it going to be happening under Bibi? We hope so. Will it? We have no clue, but it is possible, and it's up to us for making it known. Let's see. What else? Here we're going into the room again. We're going into the room. Oh, I have to get. This is someone I have to get on. Here we go. Thank you so much. All right, I got mine. Guess what? You're not going to be in a picture. You're going to be in a video. What do you have to say? One of the people. How am I going to say this in a respectful way without insulting you? A great activist for Israel for a number of years, longer than me. For over 50 years. Is that good? 50 years?
50 years.
50 years. Here you are.
50 plus years.
50 plus years. A little bit. I'm not going to go there. What? Israel. How do you feel seeing this? How many people, all the people who are here talking about sovereignty before Bibi's about to meet Trump? Who knows what he's going to talk about? We can dream, who knows? But still, regardless, look at how many people are here and this topic being on the agenda, of the public agenda. What do you have to say, Israel?
The first element in pushing a political or ideological platform is to make sure people are conscious of what you're talking about, what the terms you use, what the framework of what you're using. Sovereignty Conference has to put things on the table. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in another 3 weeks. However, if the pressure builds up, and if you hold conferences every couple of years, it's not going to build up. But if it's conferences
every year,
if you have articles written about it, Caroline Glick has a book about it, and the Women in Green have been doing great work. But it has to be done smart. For example, the first stage, I would say, if I was in Netanyahu's shoes, I'd say to Mr. Trump, I said, listen, I raised the two-state solution in 2009. It's gotten us nowhere. Personally, I believe it's very dangerous. It's not correct. But that was what was on the table. I want to take it off the table or put it on the very edge of the table. And let's talk about some other options that we have.
Good.
Right, and then in another year...
This is real politics from Israel Meidad.
This is the way things have to be done. The people have to pressure. They can't be too extreme. But the rights of Jews to the land of Israel, not only from the Bible, but because of our presence over the years since the Bible, and what the world recognized back in 1922 when they said to reconstitute the Jewish national home in Palestine. Right. They were talking about Judea and Samaria. We have security demands. All this has to be moved up. It hasn't been publicly discussed. And this is the way we're going to move it.
Amazing. Well, Israel, thank you for that insight, and thank you for everything you have been doing for decades and continue to do. Am Israel owes a big debt of gratitude to you and everyone you've been working with. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on, wherever this is going to appear.
It's Facebook. You'll see it, Israel. You'll see it. Eve. Whoever has not had Eve Harrow as a tour guide, well, come on, inspire us about the land of Israel, Eve. Sovereignty, the land of Israel.
Yeah,
come on.
That's a given.
Unbelievable tour guide. And I know, because I'm in the tour guide business, not me, but my family's in the tour guide business. I know good tour guides when I hear them. Inspire us about the land of Israel, Eve.
It's a place that God blessed, and that's it. And you just have to look around. I was at a lecture from Mary Eisen just on Friday for tour guides talking about the area. The fact that we get up in the morning and don't just have to worry about survival like almost everyone else in this region, that in itself is an out-and-out miracle.
That's right.
And we're not just surviving, we're thriving, we're changing the world. The fruit is fantastic. It's just, every day is a blessing.
Right.
Every day is a miracle.
Right. And I just want to put this anecdote in here, because this anecdote is so important. We live in Efrat. In Efrat, Eve was one of the women, and I'm saying this right now, the Jewish people, the land of Israel, is being redeemed thanks to our women, specifically thanks to our women, okay? Eve was one of the unbelievable women who saved some of the hills of Efrat from being given over, with Nadia, with my mother, right, with Marilyn, right? Lots of unbelievable women who went out on a hill and saved it from being handed over to the Palestinian Authority. It's now being built up with homes, and it's thanks to Eve and so many women and a lot of people and the land of Israel. It's up to each and every one of us.
It's a privilege. We're here. It's really a privilege every single day. I thank God that Mudani and I'm here. We were chosen.
And sovereignty. When's it going to happen, Eve? What insights do you have to tell
Well, it
us?
needs to start little by little. I happen not to agree with those who think that we should give citizenship to the Arabs living in Judea and Samaria. This is a great country, and you want citizenship here, you better earn it. But I do think that it's time to start at least applying Israeli law in the Jewish communities, and then we go from there. It's enough. 50 years is way too long for both Jews and Arabs to be living in a situation that nobody knows what's going to be,
Right.
and someone has to make a decision, and it's time.
Right. Amazing. Thanks so much, Eve. Keep up your inspiration. All right, here's another one of the organizers, Lior. How's your English today?
My English is could
It's
be
okay?
better, but okay for now.
Lior Shulka, the New Zionist Fund. How do we say it in Hebrew? קרן הישראל החדשה. חלילה וחס. קרן הציונית
Zionist
החדשה.
Foundation for Israel.
Zionist Foundation for Israel. So thank you so much for being one of the event organizational organizers. Why is this conference important?
This conference is very important because we want to transfer a message to our government and the Prime Minister when he goes to Trump, and we want to say to him, hey, we want sovereignty. We want Eretz Israel is belong to the Jewish nation, and yes, we can. And
That's right. Yes, we can. Oh, nice. That was a nice one, Lior.
and yes, we can. And the things of sovereignty, it's about courage. That's it. Yes.
Courage. If you didn't hear that, courage. There we go.
Courage. Yes, we know that the whole world, Europe, will scream and
shout
and everything. But
Who cares?
Who cares? We need to get some guts and to make sovereignty all of Judah and Samaria, because this is our country. This is justice.
Amen.
And justice has been
Denied us for many decades.
exactly. And that's it.
All right, Lior. Thank you very, very much. All right. All right, we're going to go pray. We're going to pray. In the meantime, just be inspired. Look at this. Look at this. The place is filling up. Sovereignty in Judea and Samaria. It's going to be happening. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next week. Maybe not in a month. It's going to happen. It's because of each and every one of us who spread the truth and justice. Baruch Hanayim, Baruch Yelam Voed.